Hello, I'm Jesus Adame, and I'm going to show you how I did the crescents on top of the top of the roof of my AutoCAD project. So the first thing I did was I pressed C for circle. Then I start wherever I wanted, like this. I wanted it to be in diameter mode, so I typed D, and then the diameter that I chose was 15. So 15, and there's the beginning. This is the base of the crescent. Next, I make a line, L, enter, and I connect the top quadrant and the bottom quadrant. I press escape to exit the command, and I highlight the line, hit the center, and so I can move it. I move it 4 to the right. This makes it so that I can choose the tips of the crescents, as you can see. Now I make an arc, so I go to the arc on the draw tab on the home menu, and I click the one that says center, start, end. So here's going to be the center, here's going to be the start, and here's going to be the end. And I have made the arc, and I just want to trim out the unnecessary parts. So what I do now is that I hit TR for trim, enter, I select the whole thing, and now I have everything that's going to be trimmable, so I hit enter again, and I want to take out the parts that I don't need, which are these two. As you can see, there's still these two parts with it, which I cannot trim, so I just select them, and then press delete. Now I hold the shift key and my scroll wheel and move it around so I can have a good view of the Z, Y, and X axes. I want to extrude this, but I can't just yet. I have to join the two objects, and that's because extrude needs an entire plane, and these are not an entire plane yet, just two lines. So I highlight them, type JO for join, and then I'm gonna join them, which they already did, as you can see. Now everything's highlighted. So now I'm gonna work to extrude it. What the extrude does is it'll make a 3D object based on how far I want it to extrude. So I type ext, enter, select the objects, enter, and I can extrude. I want it to be 4 meters, so I extrude 4 meters. Type 4, enter, and I have this. I select the object, and you can see this little tick mark is different from these. That's because this selects how the extrude endpoints are going to converge, like so. I picked 33 degrees, that way it'll leave a perfect line and it won't have any gaps. As you can see, no gaps, perfect line, everything's fine. My crescents in my project was done this way, but since they were symmetrical, I can mirror it and it'll cut my work in half. The first thing I have to do to mirror it though is to rotate this so that it's aligned to the z-axis, and how I do this is I hit the UCS, which is this over here, move all 3 of them to the tip of the crescent, like so. Then I make 2 lines, one aligned to the z-axis, and another one aligned to the opposite of the y-axis. That way I can easily move the y-axis like this, the z-axis, like the x-axis, sorry, like this, and I can easily rotate it. So I type RO, enter, I select the object, which is this, enter again, I hit the tip that's connected to the UCS, and I go to the opposite of the y-axis, so it's directly down, and now you can see, sorry, I press enter. So I do the same thing, select the objects, and I click, not enter, on the opposite of the y-axis, and now you can see it's aligned. Now I can mirror it, so I type MI for mirror, I select the object again, select where it's connected to the UCS, and I make it so that it's attached to the center point of the inner arc of the crescent. So I click it. I don't want to erase the original source, so I press N, and there's my arc. Now to make the UCS go back to normal, I type UCS, enter, then type W, enter, and there you have it. This is my crescent. Thank you for listening. I'm Jesus Adame.